Hi, I'm Mike from Northern Ridge Designs. Today we're going to show you a little bit of what we do when we fill a project with epoxy. Here we have a cutout of the Great Lakes. We're going to be putting a blue metallic fill in there to make these lakes really pop and come alive. And we're going to show you a little bit of what we do with that process. Just to catch you up, so far we have routed out the Great Lakes, flame torched the shape of Michigan as well as the lakes themselves. There's a little bit of a black background. And then we've sealed the whole thing with one coat of epoxy, which is really important because otherwise the epoxy will soak in. It'll go through every little nook and cranny that it can find, and you don't really end up with that great of a layout. So everything's sealed, sanded out the inside of the Great Lakes, and we're about to do our pour. So we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so we're pouring out our Great Lakes around Michigan's lower peninsula and upper peninsula. Just finishing it off, we're about to hit it with the flame and get some of those bubbles knocked out of there, and we're going to see some of that color and those sparkles come out of the lake. So just going to finish off a little bit of a pour. Right now we're just trying to even it out, get it kind of self-leveling. As we torch it, it's going to level out more. These bubbles are going to disappear, and we're really going to see the colors pop. Because right now it looks kind of hazy. That's normal. That's all the air we entrenched in it when we're mixing it up. Now the fun part. Low fire. I'm just going to kind of sweep back and forth nice and slow, knocking out the air bubbles. Don't want to stay in one spot too long because then it might burn your epoxy, but it's really quite forgiving. And as it warms up, it gets a little thinner. We'll lay out nice and flat. The rest of these bubbles will disappear. Here we go. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but they're literally disappearing as I sweep through here. This being a little thicker of an epoxy pour, we're going to get some more bubbles that come up through the epoxy as we wait. So I'm going to torch it a few times, but make sure I wait in between so that we don't get too hot of epoxy and end up burning it. But just with one torch, so you can see how it's cleared up now. Seems to be a bit too much tint in there. I think it's kind of overpowering the glitter. But you get the idea of how to lay your epoxy out. Nothing really changes in that process. We should have just probably put more glitter and less tint in. Still getting some bubbles out. It's clearing up. As it's clearing up more though, I think we're seeing a little more glitter in there. Just playing with swirling. Sometimes you can get some different metallics to stand out if you're swirling a little bit. But I see I've created some bubbles here when I swirled. Torch will take those right out. There they go. They're gone. Kind of like that swirl. Maybe I'll put some more in. Give it a little more depth there. Hopefully you can tell that Michigan, the upper peninsula, the lower peninsula are really starting to stand out. So at this point we've flamed the Great Lakes 3 times, getting most of the bubbles out. Once this epoxy has hardened, we'll sand everything down, including the blue epoxy, securing a mechanical bond. And then we're going to have to do one more seal coat on the whole project, sealing off all these little knots and little crevices in the wood. Make sure that we get a nice even layout in our final flood coat of epoxy. Then this thing will be ready for somebody's home. So if you like what you see here, follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Check out our website, northernridgedesigns.com. By the time you see this video, this piece right here might be for sale, so hurry on over to the website. Thanks for watching. It's gonna be a lot of those. Don't know what to do with my hand. You make me laugh. Blah, 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 blah. A little glitter, have more glitter, glitter, glittery. Make a happy little swirl. I'm so confused. Hopefully, blah, 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 blah. As you can see, quit looking at me like that. You got it. Quit looking at me.